Hey everyone, my name is Will. Welcome to Rooming Goods. Well guys, this has been an interesting week for the Oculus leaks. Now all angles of the Oculus 2 or S or whatever we're calling it has all been leaked out. This all started back in Wednesday from a Twitter account called Walking Cat. Now just a couple days ago, there's a follow-up to that photo and several others was actually leaked out. Also, the person who leaked the first photo suggests maybe a September 15th, 2020 reveal of the new Oculus headset. So this was the first photo that was leaked out by Walking Cat. He was the same leaker that actually leaked out the HP Reverb G2 ahead of its reveal. And he's the same person that mentioned the September 15th date can be the potential release or announcement date for the new Oculus headset. And that actually sounds about right because it's around Oculus Connect 7 conference. You know what, honestly, some of these leaks makes me question if these retouched photos or retouched shots was a planned leak to hype up their product right before the conference. It can't be perhaps be a marketing ploy right before the conference. So how much do we know about this Oculus headset? Well, not much because nothing is actually confirmed, but we can only speculate what we're seeing. So the obvious one is the color. They went away from the black fabric wrap to the all white hard plastic exterior with a black facial interface. I think they went with the plastics because it's much easier to manufacture and possibly streamline the process because of the COVID-19 situation. They are probably limited in resources now. That's probably why it's difficult to keep the Quest in stock in the first place. But I actually do like the plastic instead of the fabric because I think it's much easier to clean than the fabric. I'm also thinking they might offer different colors because they might offer a Oculus Pro version and an Oculus Lite version. So in order to tell the difference, they may have to make the colors different, similar to how Apple thinks with their smartphone where they only offer certain colors on certain phones. Now with this photo, you can see the audio build within the head strap, similar to many of the other headsets that they currently have. Also notice the two tiny holes right in the bottom of the headset. It appears to be two microphones, one on the left and the other one is on the right side near the volume controller. This allows the user to send voice commands or talk to others in VR like in VR chat. We still have the USB-C and the 3.5mm head jack on the side of the headset. But this time the headphone jack is only on the left hand side now, and the USB-C is moved back so it doesn't stick out as much like the Oculus Quest, so it's a bit of a cleaner look now. So if you look on the right side of the headset, you'll notice a third hole that appears to be a third microphone, but I'm thinking it's probably a light indicating power state along with the power button here. So that actually moved to the side of the headset instead of having it towards the front end of the headset like on the Oculus Quest. Okay, let's look at the 4 cameras on each of the corners of the Oculus Quest 2 that looks like large black circles. Now you'll notice the top cameras has moved to the sides a bit more compared to the Oculus Quest. This can actually be good because it can lead to better and wider tracking range for the touch controllers. Cameras on the bottom looks like it's in the same position. Now Bloomberg also said it will be 10 to 15% smaller. If you compare the current Oculus Quest and the Oculus Quest 2, you may not see much of a visual difference. But the new Oculus Quest 2 is actually smaller. So let's take a closer look by going into Photoshop, and I'll be overlapping these photos. So I'm going to actually turn down the opacity on the white headset, which will actually make it transparent. Now as you can see, it actually is smaller. Don't know the exact percentage, but it appears that it looks thinner. So hopefully it's not because of the way it was shot. It's starting to remind me of smartphones, how over the years it actually got smaller and smaller. Now the big question mark when looking at these pictures has been the Ipd sliders, or interpupillar distance slider. Many people have been talking about the lack of the physical Ipd slider like on the Oculus Quest. As I said before, Ipd slider is important for the user to adjust according to their pupils. So if the lens is not adjusted according to the user's eye, images will appear blurry and visually uncomfortable, and that is a huge turnoff that leads to a bad VR experience. So with no Ipd slider, people assume this is a cheaper version of the headset, or calling this the Oculus Quest Lite. However, another leaked image has appeared. Now at first there's nothing special about this photo until you zoom right in the center, and what do we see? A possible manual or automatic Ipd slider. So the slider can actually be inside instead of the outside of the headset. Again, it's not confirmed of course. Looks like there's a number 2 that perhaps indicates the level of the Ipd the user is on. Number 1 can indicate a smaller Ipd, number 2 indicating a wider Ipd, and number 3 indicating the widest IPD. Again, it's just a guess. By the way, keep in mind the vast majority of adults have an IPD ranging from 50 to 75 millimeters, and the Oculus Quest can adjust between 58 to 72 millimeters, so it can leave some people out because the limits of the Ipd slider. Maybe with the new Ipd slider, it can detect your pupils where it can adjust itself. Perhaps they actually found a way to do that, because even with the manual Ipd, people can still get it wrong. In reality, people really need to measure their Ipd to really know if they properly adjusted it correctly to their eye. And it's a bit inconvenient if you share the headset with others. You'll have to keep adjusting the Ipd slider and the head straps. So with the new discovery of the Ipd slider, I don't even know what to think anymore. So is this supposedly the cheaper version model that some are disappointed with, or is this really the Oculus Quest 2 that people are hoping and wishing for? Now, people who are disappointed are probably the gamers if the specs is not up to par, but for the first time users of this VR headset, it can be an amazing VR experience since this is a total upgrade to the Oculus Go. Especially if Facebook decides to market it as a social VR experience headset rather than a gaming VR headset, which brings up the application Facebook Horizon that could be launching in the near future. The only point I want to make here is VR currently focuses on gaming, right? Which targets the early adopters that will definitely get VR off the ground. But it's not likely there are enough gamers out there to support the entire ecosystem of VR. So if Facebook is thinking big and Mark Zuckerberg's goal is wanting 1 billion people in VR, they need to bring a wider audience into VR. So Facebook needs to make a VR headset that's actually universally appealing, basically showing others that VR is actually more than a gaming platform and applications are being developed to prove just that. So let's get back into the pictures. I don't want to stray too far from the subject. Now let's take a look at the head straps. Overall, it appears they made it a bit easier to adjust. With the current Oculus Quest, the Rift, and the Go, you have to make 3 adjustments from the elastic straps, 2 on the sides and 1 on the top. This can lead to a higher chance of an improper fit of the headset that ultimately leads to discomfort. Now with this new one, they replaced it with a single side strap with the rear adjustments, which can actually be easier for the user to adjust. So they simplify that process. Now we actually have other leaked photos on the strap, but this time, this leaked on Reddit, which shows off unretouched photos. So the user that was responsible for these leaks was not actually Walking Cat, but instead a Reddit user that has since deleted the post on Reddit as well as their account. With these photos, it shows the Quest 2 in a real world setting. Now it looks like a lot like the Oculus Go with the gray colors. This model has not been approved yet because if you look at the sticker, it says just that. Now if you look at the straps closely, it now looks like a fabric type of strap because the other photos that were retouched looks like it had a hard plastic strap. So this model could be a pre-production model. By the way, this gray color may be more accurate than the white model that was shown because a retoucher can actually change the levels where it can make the model actually whiter. So let's say if we brought the Oculus Go, which is gray, into Photoshop, I could just simply change the levels of the Oculus Go into a lighter color. So as you can see now, it's actually closer to being white. A retoucher can actually retouch it to white or gray or whatever color they want. So the real color could actually be gray instead of white. So we're gonna just have to wait and see the final headset to really confirm that this is actually white. So with a better view of the head strap, you'll notice 2 adjustment buckles. Those buckles look pretty hard, so I'm not sure if that's actually comfortable sitting against your head. But again, this is not the approved model, so maybe they'll wrap a padding around that or change the buckle. As far as the top straps, you can clearly see it's a Velcro strap. Not much change there, and again with this photo you can see the audio built into the straps as well. So as for the controllers, it's pretty similar to the Quest Touch controllers with the exception of this little dip right here. They actually brought this feature back from the original Oculus Rift controller where you can actually rest your thumb if you're not pressing any buttons. Not sure if there's some sort of sensor if it knows your thumb is not actually there. Also, the controllers appear to be bigger to perhaps help with the comfort of these controllers, but it can very well be how the images were shot. And by the way, Facebook has declined to comment on any of these photos or rumors or anything like that. Now again, there's still much that we don't know about the headset, like the frame rate, resolution, the processing chip that's inside the headset, or anything like that. What I'm actually really curious about is the September 15 launch date. I actually automatically think of the HP Reverb G2 launch date. Are they actually possibly competing with them? If they are, will they have the same resolution as the G2, which is 2160 by 2160 per eye? Would you be willing to buy this headset over the G2 if it has the same resolution? Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Let me know what you guys think about the leaked photos. As always guys, if you liked the video, press the like button and consider subscribing. Talk to you later.